Alrighty, we are back, and we are about to start Sonic 2! Once again, in Anniversary Mode. That tutorial prompt was basically saying, hey, you can enter special stages through checkpoints instead of through end of stage rings. So this is actually really cool in my opinion. This is basically like an adaptation, a very truncated adaptation of the manual plot of Sonic 2. Sonic saves Tails from bullies, he ends up sort of becoming enamored with Sonic. The other funny part is this is actually not the first time this has been depicted in the game, of like, oh my god, Tails is, you know, enamored with Sonic. Another time would have been Sonic Adventure, which is very awkwardly set in the Mystic Ruins, if I recall correctly. But hey, Sonic 2 time. I guess this time we're gonna mix it up, I think. I want to play at... Oh, you can play as Amy and Tails, that's cool. We're gonna play as Tails, because, significance. Again, this is Fox Girl's favorites, so, hey, we should do a run of part of the reason I love this game so much, which is Tails. Yeah, they do actually include all the different combos for everybody, and there are cheat codes to actually enable the combos in, like, Sonic 1, though I do recall there being issues with some of the combos. Like, not the combos, but, like, some of the debug features being a little wonky and causing issues in some of the games. Again, like, activating the 7th Chaos Emerald for Sonic 1 can cause problems. Still no Knuckles and Knuckles? Unfortunately, no. That's only in Mania. I don't know if Mania would count for the series now that I'm thinking about it. The other potential problem I'm having is life sims. That is the other big issue I'm having with planning Fox Girls favorites at the moment. Because life sims would count in some cases. How the hell do I stream a life sim? I hate how smooth this is. I know it's, you know, objectively better. It is so trippy. It's like actively uncanny seeing these special stages like running smoothly. But the Sonic 2 special stages are the infamous half pipe. I like the half pipe. It's a lot of nostalgia. Yards. I don't know what that means, but I think I can gather from context clues. Yeah, motion sickness warning. I should have said that sooner. I should have said that for Sonic 1 special stages. But yeah, these can be a lot to take in. My advice is just, I'm kind of looking down the center, mostly the gauge ring placements, but I'm actually not really paying attention to the background very much, partly from my own head spinning. Well, my head's spinning. What a wild ride. I can just whip out Sonic Heroes quotes at a whim, because I've played that game enough that they were just embedded into my DNA at this point. I think the Knuckles actor did confirm recently that he straight up was saying shit in the recording of Sonic Heroes. Jumping? You have Amy saying, oh my god, which confirms the existence of the Christian deity in the Sonic universe. For legal purposes, this is a joke. Hey, so correct me if I'm wrong, but do you actually keep your rings after a special stage in original Sonic 2? Because I thought they restored you to like they took 50 rings from you basically, but I can't remember if that's right, not an OG, Gotcha. The funny part is there's like a crap ton of checkpoints in just this first level. You can straight up get all the Chaos Emeralds in like just Emerald Hill, if you know where you're going. Hey, guess who doesn't know where I'm going, though? So, I'm not making any promises of that, though I definitely think I've missed a few checkpoints, along the way. I love Emerald Hill's song, it's very fun. Yeah, if I was smart and didn't like horribly rush to get the stream started, I would have looked up checkpoint placements for Sonic 2. Guess who was not thinking ahead? This gal. Number 2, let's see. The other interesting thing about Sonic 2 that I can think of is this, like Sonic 1, was a game I did. Ooh, this one's a lot. The stage is a lot to process. But like Sonic 1, I never beat this game as a kid. It is hard as hell towards the end. I never even got to the final boss legit. Like, Kid Me would not have enjoyed that, I can guarantee it. Kid Me didn't even like Oil Ocean. You know, it's actually really hard to talk while playing these special stages, as it turns out. But I definitely did like this game quite a lot. I have a lot of nostalgia. This is the one I probably played the most, even though I never finished it, just because I love Tails. Tails is a very good character. He's a good boy. Shit. That's a problem. That's a bigger problem. Oh, so we have to just fail to actually restart. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, Death Egg sucks. I am going to make a bet that I can beat Death Egg within like 5 tries. I'm feeling confident today. This totally won't bite me in the ass. We already have enough rings, and we just started this, so we are doing significantly better than last time. It's almost like memorization helps, which is a problem when you only get one shot in the original versions of these. A lot of these later special stages, and 2 specifically, will take a couple tries, like 1 to kind of gauge everything, and 1 to actually get the emerald. But yeah, I'm feeling more confident in Sonic 2 than Sonic 1 for sure. Sonic 3 is actually just a pretty reasonable game, I'd say. Yes, I am going backwards, because I'm being greedy. I'm like, what if I get more Chaos Emeralds? Did they auto-activate? No, I'm pretty sure those were just the 2 we had found already. Because I did take the upper path, so I'm gonna take the lower path this time. See if that helps. Okay, I'm playing this like Sonic CD anyway, ironically. I may just be losing my mind, in all fairness. I may be completely misremembering where everything is. In which case, I'm just like wasting a lot of time. But again, it'll save time in the long run if we don't have to worry about the Chaos Emeralds, especially if we have Supersonic. I think the rings actually respawn too. Again, I might just be overthinking. Like, straight up. This is the end of the stage. Shit, they locked us in. Oh well, we only have 262 rings. Now, if only they carried over to the next act. That would be nice. But this game isn't that nice. Hey, 2 out of 7 ain't bad. Free continue, not that we have lives, because we're playing anniversary mode. Yeah, not bad. Again, like, the level of comfortability with Sonic 2 is significantly higher than Sonic, 1. Also getting to play as Tails is nice. I don't think Tails can fly in OG Sonic 2. He was just kind of like a reskin of Sonic in that one. That was added for 3 onwards. Actually, if you want to be like really like pedantic, I suppose, the first game where Tails could fly is, I think, Sonic Chaos. But it's like weird, it doesn't control the same way. You have to like press up, you have to hold up and then press jump. So it's like really awkward. I've actually never 100%ed Chaos. I don't remember how to get the Chaos Emeralds in that one, I'll be honest. Yeah, Tails can't mid-air fly in Chaos. Okay. Secret in the water. Ah, don't like that. It is really funny playing Sonic games this slow. We won't have to do that for Sonic 3 at least, because that's like, oh, these are fixed locations, and it's just a matter of finding them. So we can actually pick up the pace a little bit more in that game. Special stages are only with Sonic. Oh, well that explains a lot, actually. Listen, I like Sonic, I usually prefer playing Tails. Maybe because I have the younger sibling energy. Just like, naturally. Alright, we lived. For now. Alright, this little, like, spiral pattern. Neat. 110. That is a significant increase. Okay. We're good. Just gotta play jump rope with armed mines. Just normal Sonic behavior. Don't like that jump. Okay. We're good. Insta-shield defender? True. Drop dash also. I think I like the drop dash more. Like, truth be told. Okay. Yeah. Why am I so stressed, actually? I can retry this. I have 100 medallions. I do not have to worry about, like, resets. And yet, I just want to be a show-off, I guess. I want to be cool. I want to impress my friends by being good at Sonic 2. This is my riz of just being really good at Sonic games. Yeah, I actually feel like the drop dash is inherently bad in a lot of games. The biggest offender in my opinion is Generations, 3D specifically. It actually got me killed so many times. I wish it was a skill, and I've seen that sentiment echoed elsewhere, of wishing the drop dash was a skill in gens for modern Sonic, just because of just how unwieldy it is, like, just accidentally activating it and dying over and over again. That's shield. The other advantage of playing Tails, obviously, is you can fly. So you can just kind of scope out the area a lot more. You made a skill for classic and not modern? I actually don't know if I... Shit. I don't know if I knew that, actually. That's really aggravating. Well, that's a problem. Just gonna fly over that one. Yeah, I've complained about Sonic Generations quite a bit lately. But again, I actually had the bizarre experience of, like, both because the changes they made, I think a lot of them weren't good, and also because, relative scaling, I actually think Sonic Generations dropped considerably in my viewpoint because of the collection. Like, I had so many weird clips in, like, clips through walls in the remaster of Generations that I never saw in the original. Like, there's that one part of classic Crisis City where you, like, go up a ramp and then the camera kind of loops around this, like, building. Not loops, but, like, you go up a ramp and then you go, like, around a building. But, like, going up that ramp killed me a bunch of times. Like, 3 or 4 times. Hi, Esper. Yeah, the Steam port also has a fair amount of weird quirks to it. Shadow Generations is still very good though. Again, I didn't quite scratch an itch for me, unfortunately, as much as it did for other people. I'm happy that for those who did get what they wanted out of the franchise, basically, with Shadow Gens, but it didn't quite land for me as much as I had hoped it would. But it's still like 8 out of 10, you know, a really good Sonic experience. That's like my weird, like, quirk with Sonic especially, is I can recognize, like, yeah, this game's really good, or this game's really not good. But I kind of separate that from my personal viewpoint a lot of times. Yeah, you're comparing it the whole time, yeah, same. The weird part is Shadow Generations is a lot slower, but you have more control, so they just actually use that well for platforming. It fixed my issue with Sonic, Frontiers, where it's basically like cyberspace. Like, Shadow to me, other than being able to boost through enemies, he kind of doesn't play that differently from cyberspace Sonic in Frontiers. However, the stages in Shadow Generations were built around being slower. Like homing attack delay and just all the weird quirks of Frontiers, the stages were built around that. So it didn't feel as bad as like replaying a Generations level with really bad physics, which is basically what cyberspace was. It's like, if this is tailor-made for these physics, I have no objection. If you're trying to cram this into a game with totally different physics, I'm gonna have a problem with that. A standalone game for Metal Sonic would be cool, and how do I talk about this? I'm not entirely sure how I want to talk about this, actually, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, is what I'm going to say. I think there is actually a decent chance of getting a Metal Sonic game, or something with Metal Sonic, like, relatively soon. That's just kind of my gut check. Like, overall, I think. It's like, I have my reasons for saying that, but I don't really want to disclose those reasons. Yes, the Fanta special stage. Can you make him an actual character? Yeah. Like, how the hell was Metal Sonic's last, like, major appearance, like, rivals? No, that's not true. Free Riders. How could I have forgotten? Answer. Very easily. That game's plot is kinda garbage. I love Riders. Free Riders, even without the motion controls, still has a lot of fundamental issues just because the story is so poor. IMO. Like, just the way it's told, it's like, to me, Sonic Riders is a series that always stood out to me because of how much style it had. So Sonic Free Riders' story being told through, like, PNGs and text boxes just kind of felt not good to me. So yeah, even if it wasn't a Kinect game, I don't think I would have good views of Sonic Free Riders from a story perspective, at least. I'm expecting a trap at the end here, like a bomb row. Never mind, we're good. Yeah, it feels like... Wait. Metal was in TSR, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't think it was, like, major in TSR, but I'm pretty sure he was in that. Because there was him, Zavok, and Eggman as a team, I think. Oh, wow, why are these two right next to each other? I don't know, but I'll take it. Works for me. Is this the one that sucks? Realizing that doesn't narrow it down at all. Yeah. Metal Sonic feels like such a missed opportunity, really. It's like there's so much you could do with that concept and they just kind of gave up after a while. My other Metal Sonic take is I kind of just wish, like, Sonic games in general had more playable characters. Like, straight up. Like, we're getting there, but, like, Shadow is just, you know, Sonic with slight animation tweaks, if we're gonna be, like, somewhat snippy about it. Like, you know, Frontiers actually had significantly different character movesets for the DLC. I didn't like them, but it was interesting having those. Amy was fine, it's just Tails was not great, Knuckles was real bad pre-patch. But like, the idea of like Sonic's friends finally being able to play again, being playable again was tantalizing. Wouldn't mind if they transed Metal's gender. I mean, Sonic Superstars did have like the Metal Amy option for like the multiplayer that no one ever played. Superstars upsets me, I'm not gonna lie. Not just because I don't like it, because it's BS difficulty, but also just because of like how poorly handled like marketing was. Like releasing it the same day as like Mario Wonder and like Spider-Man 2 was like, what are y'all doing? Like, are you for real? Like, you're gonna release these on the same day and then complain, wow, no one bought your game. And they straight up did that at one point. Like, there was some, like, investor thing where they were talking about, like, yeah, Sonic Superstars underperformed. It's like, yeah, no shit. You released it next to two of the biggest games of the year. What did you think was going to happen? The lack of awareness was the thing that was just like, alright, that's... I don't understand why they didn't think that they would be clobbered by both of these games, but apparently they didn't see that coming. Plus also, Sonic games always go on really steep Black Friday sales, so like Superstars was down to like, from like 60 to 40 in like a month. Hell, I legitimately stopped buying Sonic games if they had October release dates at launch, because I know they're gonna be on the Black Friday sale. So like, I got Generations like a month late, for like $30. It's like, what the hell? Why is this game $30 already? I thought it would go down to 40 for Black Friday. It went all the way down to 30. I'm like, for that much, hell yeah, I can't complain. But like, Sonic just has this problem, and it's like, that's why as much as I don't like how Nintendo games never go down in price, it's why I understand why they are so cagey about dropping prices of like games or discounts, because so many other companies have kind of conditioned consumers to just be like, I'll be on sale really fast, I can wait on it. So it's like, I get why Nintendo waits a very long time, and even at that, will do a very small sale at best. Again, it's very frustrating, but it's like, I kind of understand their logic when I apply that logic to other companies and don't buy games day one because of it. Like, Ubisoft is obviously one of the worst, because, like... Oh look, Assassin's Creed. You know, in a few months, the new Assassin's Creed that just came out, like, in February, is probably gonna be, like, $30, $20, something like that. So it's like, I don't buy Assassin's Creed games, well, period, at the moment. But, like, you know, if I was still buying Assassin's Creed games, it would not be day one, just because I know these games are gonna go down in price. And I feel really bad for, like, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, because I fully admit I'm part of the problem, because, like, that game underperformed really badly. Yeah, Nintendo is pushing their luck in a lot of ways, which is... It's a complicated topic that I don't really want to get into, admittedly, because of all the different aspects of that. But yeah, I get what you mean. Again, if there's any kind of post-launch, and if it's like free updates, which I'm surprised the Direct didn't confirm, I think that would help. But again, if they roll out a season pass for the game, it's gonna be like really not good. My theory currently is the Switch 2 drops June 5, right? So like, that's E3 timeframe. Quote-unquote E3. I always say E3, I know it's like Summer Games Fest, I don't want to call it that, I'm gonna be real. I just prefer saying E3, because I am a creature of habit. But I do feel like some of the launch details of Switch 2 being so slim is sort of levied by that aspect that we're hitting June. There's probably gonna be stuff announced in that month, whether it's through Chaff or through other sources. Yeah, ESA is doing something, and it's like, I feel like the ESA has lost so much goodwill, I can't really care, if I'm gonna be honest. For a lot of reasons. Yeah, Veilguard and like Suicide Squad. and all this stuff where it's like, oh wow, this game is $5 now, and it came out like 5 months ago. Why would I buy this game for $70? Veilguard makes me sad because of reasons that I don't know if I should get into this while playing a Sonic 2 special stage, if I'm being real. But just like, you know, the valid reasons to dislike a game like Dragon Age Veilguard, or Dragon Age Veilguard, and then the not valid reasons, which end up being the reasons that end up getting all the oxygen in the room. So yeah, that's just been my recurring frustration with a lot of games lately, is just people using games as like getting mad over like having pronoun options in games. It's happening with like the Oblivion remake having like different classifications of like male, female. There's the selection is like option 1 or option 2, and a bunch of people are melting down about it, and it's like, that is the least of this Oblivion remake's problems from everything I've heard about it. It's apparently very glitchy from everything I've heard. So this special stage is interesting, because it's mostly designed to just give you a lot of rings at the start, and then try to take them away from you. Like, ow. I'm pretty sure we won't be seeing like any more rings for a bit. Never mind, I am eating my words. Yeah, Veilguard was like under 6 months, it was already on PS Plus. It's like, what the hell happened there? And like, the funny part with Veilguard is the same thing that pisses me off about Warner Bros. I know I'm gonna need to be more specific, but one moment. With Mortal Kombat 1, where it's like, oh, this game undersold because it only sold 3 million copies. It's like, I'm sorry, what? This game sold only 3 million copies. It's like, that's the lifetime sales of Guilty Gear Strive. And Warner Bros. Is like, well, guess we're pulling support on MK1 because no one wants this game, apparently. It's like, what the hell? Anyway, Sonic. We have all the Chaos Emeralds. We can't go Super though, because that's a Sonic thing. Tails needs the Super Emeralds to actually go Super in this game. Or in Sonic 3 specifically, so hey, getting the Chaos Emeralds kind of doesn't do anything other than give us the better ending. So I'm really having this realization of like, why did I go to all that effort to get the Emeralds? Yeah, and it's like Warner Bros. Having absurd standards because of the game that shall not be named, where they're just like, oh, well, this game underperformed compared to that game. It's like, that game sold out of really crappy reasons, like spite, to be honest. That sucked. So yeah, it's like, it's really wild just how the industry has gotten really bad recently. Obviously, it's like, yeah, it's for indies. It's kind of my recurring sentiment, but even indies aren't immune from a lot of issues lately, which is upsetting. Like, I want to say like Penny's Big Breakaway, like the developer of that ended up having to lay people off, and it's like even indie games are having issues with like sales and such. It's really like not a great time for the industry, but again, that's a whole conversation where it's like, maybe I shouldn't be having this right now. But like, we never got like a greatest hits line for PS4. In actuality, PS4 games went up in price because they discounted them, and then we're like, oh wait, if we're offering like The Last of Us with a $10 upgrade, and we've cut The Last of Us Part 1 down to like, or Part 2 down to like $10, or like $20, people could just buy the whole thing for $30 if they just do the upgrade path. So they put it back up at $60, so they could charge it at $70 digital, basically. So yeah, this kind of reverse like curve we're having, where it's like games are actually going up in price. It's like the PS5 just got a price raise in a lot of countries, not in America, which is also bothering me, because it's like, why is the rest of the world like taking a hit on this when really they can probably stand to raise the price here instead of like raising it 2 times in like the span of 2 years in Canada, for example. But that's a whole other topic. Again, I don't know why Sonic 2 is the game where I'm on a soapbox today, but I'm also just kind of having that kind of day where I'm just kind of fired up about a lot of things, in all fairness, so that's part of the reason why I'm very feisty and opinionated at the moment, is just kind of how I've been feeling all day. Oh yeah, Tails can swim, which is really nice. One fun thing in Sonic 2 is this is basically the only water level. It's actually refreshing, not having to worry about that. And even then, a lot of indies are having trouble, I feel, with like... I know there were issues with like Earthblade, which kind of is heartbreaking to me because I was really looking forward to that. It's like Mina the Hollower has kind of dropped off the face of the planet, as far as I can tell. It's Yacht Club. I know Shovel Knight took forever, so I'm not worried about the game. I'd like to have an update on it. I keep hoping we'll see it in a trailer someday, but it's just kind of vanished. Remember when I thought I could beat these games in like an hour each? Yeah, about that. We're at 2 hours already. Yeah, I am in a weird mode with Silksong. I've never played the original Hollow Knight, which is part of the reason I'm in a weird mood about it, but certain games, like Silksong, take all the oxygen out of the room at like events. Like whenever there's an event and they make the horrible, horrible mistake of leaving a live chat up, because a lot of them now just disable chat, which is a very good call. A lot of it's just people in chat spamming Where's Silksong? And this has been like this for like 4 years now, and it's just like... It'll be ready when it's ready. Like... I don't want Silksong to be a sports story. I want it to be good, even though I haven't played Hollow Knight 1 in its entirety. I don't want that for that fan base, and I feel like the fans shouldn't want it for themselves either. It's like they should want the TLC given to this game that it needs, because if it's just a broken mess, then the game is forever kind of tainted. Like, again, Sports Story is the obvious one. There was so much hype going into that game, and then it was like so bad from what I heard, like broken. Also like a dev room with like a cry for help or something. Like there was a secret dev room in Sports Story where they're like... And people couldn't tell if it was like satire of like crunch, or like the developers were actually like, yeah, a cry for help basically. So yeah, it's a very complicated situation through and through. In general, I have fallen really behind indie games. Yeah, you can get it early, but then it's No Man's Sky as an extreme example. Like, No Man's Sky is amazing to me. I have no horse in this race. Like, I never played it, period. But it is a case of... I am happy they turned it around, because frankly a lot of companies don't get that opportunity to turn things around, as we have seen with a lot of the layoffs in the industry. Like, No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk 2077, to a lesser extent I think, because I think that game had a better foundation, to be honest. It was just kind of like buggy. No Man's Sky was the issue of like ambition, and also just like deceptive marketing even, where it's like, oh, that is not how the game actually works. But now it kind of is, from what I gather. Like, they kind of achieved the original vision finally. Yeah, it's really cool, in my opinion. Again, as someone who has never played the original, you know, FF14 is the other really big one. Going from 1.0 to ARR is like, what the hell happened there? You not found an inclination to buy new games, instead try to work through your backlog, which is due to your ADHD meds. Yeah, that would definitely help with that. I'm still kind of struggling with that, though I'm also not on ADHD meds. As I'm currently like Okay, but what if I play Claire Obscure? What if I play that instead of like the 600 unfinished games I have, though a lot of them are just like NSO stuff that's free. Now, what if I play, like, pick up Claire Obscure instead of finishing the 4 Fire Emblems I've never actually finished? Because it's Echoes, Conquest, Revelation, and Colgate, Engage. New purchases are mainly multiplayer focused. The main thing with Claire Obscure is people are really bad about spoilers. I've already seen things that are like, wow, neat. Wish I hadn't seen that right away. Not that I'm like overly concerned about spoilers, to be fair. I ended up looking up a synopsis at a point. But obviously that does not carry the emotional weight of the actual storytelling, so I usually also, I didn't quite understand it without context. You can play all the shiny new stuff, or instead choose to play Gotcha Force. I don't... Yeah, allergy day. I don't know anything about Gotcha Force other than it's bloody expensive. That's like literally all I ever knew about that game. Like, it's one of the rarest GameCube games. Again, that would be a huge, huge get for NSO, to be honest. I'm trying to think of third-party offerings on NSO platforms. What the hell? You can actually go through that platform. Okay. Live and learn. I did not know that happened. At least the platform is easy to respawn. There we go. I'm actually kind of debating what to do with my GameCube collection in general. I kind of had the thought, like, maybe I should just offload some of these games. Like, some of these games are actually going down in price. Like, Path of Radiance is... This is gonna sound very silly. Path of Radiance is only $200 now on, like, eBay. I know, only $200, but, like, it was going for, like, over $3 for a while. Like, you know... You can buy a Switch too by selling a copy of Path of Radiance before the price went back down to a slightly less absurd level. Like, you know, XD is another one that's pretty expensive. Like, Air Ride is still expensive, but as soon as that's announced for NSO, I'm sure that'll help a bit. Yeah, I think the E3 time period is going to be very interesting this year, just because I don't actually know what's happening this year, because no one wants to announce something with GTA 6 looming. In a way, it actually bothers me, because it's like, GTA 6 is this, like... It's been put on such a pedestal, it cannot possibly live up to expectations, is my feeling. At least that's my, like, the way my brain goes. But they might, you know, I'm not saying it's impossible, you know, in a literal sense, but it's like Half-Life 3 for me, where it's like, if Half-Life 3 ever happens, how the hell will it ever live up to expectations? See, my take on Grand Theft Auto 6 is it won't be like $100 inherently. It'll be like $70, but come with like a $30 deluxe edition that has like money for GT Online and just a bunch of other goodies. So it's like, to me with Nintendo, the $80 price tag is like funny to me in a way, because games have been $80 for a really long time, just not optionally, or they've just been optional up until now. That's like my bizarre take on Mario Kart 8, or Mario Kart World, is like, every PlayStation game has like a $10 digital deluxe upgrade, so that would make it $80. Like, or for the new ones at least, and they just have like little armor and stuff that's not like essential, like you can easily skip out on it. Conversely, story DLC inherently is like, oh well, if you want the ending of this game, you have to pay us $20 more. So it's kind of like, you're still paying like over like $60 if you want the full experience. The other inherent problem is like 1, gradual, 2, price drops, 3, what am I trying to say? Basically, like, with DLC at least, you know, you can pay $60 for the game up front, and then, oh, the DLC's out in 2 years, or 1 year. Like, I think Reload's a good example, where it's like, Reload's DLC was like $40 or something, the game's over $100. Like, it's already over $100 if you want the answer. They just split it up to make it feel less bad, but it still feels kind of bad paying $30 for the answer. I say as I actually haven't bought the DLC for that. I own Persona 3 Reload because it was like $25 for a while. Again, an example of why would I buy this game at launch? Persona games usually go down in price pretty fast. Metaphor, on the other hand, I think is selling really well. Yeah, and fighting games, that's the whole thing. For me, I've really fallen out of like getting into other fighting games. I'm just kind of sticking with the ones I'm already invested in, and that is Strive. Like, straight up. Like, I admittedly am tempted by the collection coming out next month. The CVS one. People are talking already about like, what are the odds of the CVS collection outselling City of the Wolves because of just how much that game dropped the ball? Which is like kind of depressing to actually think about. Because I know people were really excited for City of the Wolves, but then everything went south for for their marketing. So, at least I think it's Southtown where that's set. Otherwise, that pun would not, go over well. I don't think KOF had, like, I think KOF, like, okay, so Steam tracks, like, you know, all-time peak player count. Like, I want to say 15, so it's like 8,000 people when the game came out. But, like, Sea of the Wolves is, like, 3,500 to 4,000. Like people say, it's like, it's mostly just like the ownership of SNK, and like with 15, you could kind of tune it out a bit, but because of the decisions made for Fatal Fury, the ownership of SNK is front and centered. It's unavoidable, and because of that, that's part of the reason why